Welcome back to Common Man MMA Episode 2. Today is Tuesday, July 22nd, and a heck of a card last weekend, a couple days ago, guys, or 3 days ago now. Saturday night, it was a heck of a card. Lots of wild things and an interesting main card, to say the least. Interesting, and I'm not going to say an overwhelming, maybe an underwhelming main card as well, but we look forward to the fight night this weekend, as well as some other interesting bits this week on Common Man MMA Episode 2. Guys, how do you feel after last week's episode, and how do you feel after watching UFC 318?
Well, I think last week's episode was great, and we clipped together nice, and it worked out good, and then we actually got to the actual card, and I think overall, I'll get into it more as we talk about it fight by fight, but it seemed like the early prelims and the prelim card, we seemed to almost get kind of spoiled a little bit. And we got some really good fights in there. In the main card, I'm not saying they were bad fights. They just weren't maybe as good or as entertaining as the main card. Don't get me wrong. It was still a fun card to watch, but it was just a lot of interesting results on the main card.
Yeah, I mean, we got spoiled. The crowd definitely got spoiled. I mean, you could even hear the commentators. The fighters later on in the card, they'd clinch up for 10 seconds and everyone would start booing because they're used to those punches flying, submissions happening. But yeah, I enjoyed it. They were good fights. Main card didn't go great for us, but I still enjoyed it.
Yeah, if there was a competition for picking undercard fights, we were up last week, fellas. So let's start with 318. We're going to work all the way up because we picked everything from the early prelims up. Carly Judas takes the KO or TKO in round 3 over Nicole Cagliari. Fellas, we did all right there, but Cole, you picked that one. What did you see there? Did you see anything specific that you liked out of Judas?
Honestly, I was surprised that this one got out of the first and second rounds. I'm surprised it went to the third just kind of based on how it was going. And then, like I said, there was no real reason for me to pick against Judas, and she came through. 1-0.
Yeah, I disappointed in Nicole. I thought she attempted 8 takedowns, but she only landed 1, and that was kind of what I was planning on happening. She'd take her down, control the fight, win a decision, but Judas looked good. 109 significant strikes in less than 3 rounds. I mean, it was domination, and it went to finish, so I thought it was a good fight. Good look
Speaking of domination, fellas, the next one, Bruno Ferreira and Jackson McVeigh. I mean, just an absolute masterclass by Bruno and the Brazilian, getting the submission at the 335 mark in round 1 in the next one.
Yeah, he did a really good job. It just seemed like, I mean, the entire round he just got control early, got a shot, landed it, and then just did not give up position at all. Jackson McVeigh, again, like I said, it was first ever UFC fight. You really didn't know what to expect, and it seemed like he kind of got caught off guard a little bit, and then that was just it.
First fight jitters, that's honestly the reason I picked against him, and it worked out for me. So
I think that truly is right with what happened. You're fighting a guy who just it looked like a brick shithouse out there, really. I mean, the guy is a tank, and I mean, to go out there and to dominate the fight, but to also be a 325 dog at fight start isn't easy either. So, good win for Ferreira, and McVeigh needs to kind of regroup, because if he wants to stay in the UFC, he has to find a way to be a little bit better and stay off the ground.
Yeah.
The next one, Ryan Spann and Lucas Brzeski. Submission in round 1 by Spann. I mean, we were going really good for the first 3 fights, guys. Submission, or TKO, I guess, in the first fight, but submission in a row. But Spann takes this one at the 247 mark, round 1.
Yep, Spann he controlled it, just like I said, landing the very first takedown, just controlled it all the way from there, and just, like I said, no real reason to pick against him, and we just went 3 for 3.
Yeah, total domination. I mean, the fight lasted 2 minutes and 47 seconds. He controlled for 2 minutes and 14 seconds. 1 takedown, landed 8 significant strikes. I mean, it was just domination, and he was a big favorite too, so it wasn't like we were really expecting anything else to happen.
The next one, Jimmy Crute and Marcin Prachnio. Crute, again, dominates late in round 1, gets the submission at the 442 mark, and, again, all green. But, Cole, that was your lock of the week, I believe.
Yeah, that was my lock of the week. I even loved him. I took him by submission, thought about taking him round 1 submission, wasn't as confident
Now
in that.
imagine that.
He landed a lot of takedowns. You got to give a lot of credit to Prachnio. He got out of them quite a bit. But then as soon as, he got the last one to stick, I'm like, okay, this is the chance. That was Cruz's best chance of the round so far, and he was able to get the submission.
We kind of saw a theme throughout, especially the early prelims. The fighter that was a big favorite kind of dominated throughout, and this was part of the course because 3 takedowns, 2 minutes of control time in a fight that didn't get out of the first round, that's what I would call domination in a fight.
Yeah, moving forward, it might be a look for not only us, but the viewers watching, that Vegas may know a little bit more than the average Joe when it comes to those early prelim cards. No, truly. I mean, if those lines are so swayed, then there's a reason that they're swayed like that. Yeah. Vegas knows what they're talking about. The numbers reflect that.
Early prelims, main card, Vegas struggled, but so did we. So
that's true.
Yeah, we maybe followed that we were a little bit of a sheep, if you will, following the pack. So the last fight of early prelims, we go 3 for 3 again, almost predicting it down to a T. Islam Dulatov taking the win over Adam Fugit at the 406 mark by knockout. Fellas, I called this mere seconds before it happened. I'm like, well, if he doesn't knock him out right now, then I'm going to get up. And I just before I stood up, it was a knockout. It was one of the coolest things. I called it right when it happened, but it was fun to watch.
Yeah, this was the play I missed taking right before the fight. Was going to take a round 1 knockout, and Dulatov, he closed at minus 800 right before the fight, so he was the heavy favorite, and that's exactly what happened.
Domination, kind of like, again, I figured it was going to happen. 21 significant strikes. Adam landed 14, but it wasn't the same kind of strikes. Domination again to end the early prelims. And a nice knockout for his resume.
Moving on to the prelims, we go to Caden's lock, and it hit. Ateba Gaudier getting the knockout round 1 minute and 10 seconds in over Robert Valentin. And a minus 550 favorite. Caden, what did you see in the Cameroonian?
Domination. This fight could have been ended at about 30 seconds in. I was literally standing up yelling at the TV. I was like, stop. I think it was Herb Dean reffing too. I was like, if this was anyone else, probably get stopped. But I was like, stop it, stop. Like,
Herb lets some stuff go.
He does let some stuff go. And yep. It didn't matter because another 30 seconds later and then the fight did stop. But yeah, he looked really, really impressive.
Yeah, sheer domination. I was watching it with Caden as well, and for the last 30 seconds of that fight, we were in both saying, even me, he knows usually most what he's talking about. I'm just kind of going along with it. Then at some point, I'm just like, okay, we got to stop this fight. Valentin is just laying there like this on the ground and just taking punch after punch, and got the KO in the end.
I don't know. At some point though, we've seen those clips of guys coming back from the grave. It seems like and throwing a punch that just catches the other guy off guard and or knocks him out. But there's a reason that those are on highlight reels because they happen. So they never happen. So things like that, it happens. But Herb Dean tends to let things go. But sometimes it's for the best.
And there was too much time left. There was 4 minutes left in the round. If there was 30 seconds, maybe I could see it. You get back to the stool, you recover a little bit, but that one wasn't getting out of the first.
We move on to the first split decision of the night. And I think it was a very interesting fight, to say the least. Nikolay Veretennikov and Francisco Prado. My dog of the week gets the win in a split decision, and I really don't know if Veretennikov won that fight.
I don't think so. He dominated the first round.
He did.
The second round, I think Prado absolutely. Me and Cole both thought it could have been 10-8. It was just straight domination. And I thought he did enough in the third round, but like we said, I could have seen it either way. I saw it Prado's way would have helped me too, but non-biased. I felt Prado won the fight, but you finish the fight, you don't have to wait for the judges.
I don't disagree with you.
No.
Cole?
Yeah, it was every single... I have the judges' scorecard up, and I can put them up on the screen here when we're talking about them, but every single judge had Prado winning that third round and losing the first. It just came down to that second round where it was kind of iffy either way. Now, I picked Veretennikov, so I was kind of happy that the split decision went my way, but it was one of those, it could have been just flip a coin, and that's who's going to win this fight.
Yeah, and some of it also has to go into detail of how you view control versus just actually grappling on the ground. There's a difference between that, and I think that's where the judges drew that line into that split decision. Moving up the list, Marvin Vettori and Brendan Allen. Allen takes the unanimous decision, and I thought that it could have been 30-27 in this one, but we had a 28-29 by one of the judges. I really thought Allen dominated. Fellas?
Yeah, I thought so as well. And again, just looking at the judges' scorecard, Derek Cleary gave Marvin Vettori round 2. I don't know. They're I was hoping they'd all be a little closer because Vettori was obviously my dog of the week, and I was kind of pulling for him. But it should have been 30-27 the whole way.
Yeah, I mean, significant strikes. Allen only had 2 more, but Vettori got cut really early, and that definitely damaged. It can affect how the judges think. Allen landed 3 for 4 takedowns. Vettori didn't attempt one. I thought Allen won the fight 30-27, 29-28. It's a win either way. So,
sure. And I was watching this with my girlfriend and a couple other people, and once that blood started to flow, they were like, "Whoa!" And that, how much of an impact does that make to the refs? I mean, or not the refs, but the scores. Like what do they have? What do the judges take into account on that scorecard of how impactful your cuts are, how much the other guy is bleeding, how much the other guy is affected by what you're doing, how much is that taken into account by the judges, and how does that affect the scoring? I don't know, but that's always something that I think could be something to visit about at a point where there's a fight like that where there's so much fluid being lost. So we move up to Vinicius Oliveira and Kyler Phillips. In a unanimous decision, Vinicius takes it. And I don't know. I thought they spent a little bit more time on their feet than I anticipated. I thought Vinicius was going to spend a little bit more time on the ground, only 2 minutes and 20 seconds to control. So not a ton of time on the ground for a fight that goes the distance.
Yeah, this unfortunately sold our parlay of the week. I had this one not going the distance.
Thank you, Colt.
And for a second there, I was thinking, okay, we got life. And then the third round hit, and it just seemed like neither fighter wanted anything to do with taking the other one down or finishing the fight. They just wanted to hear the bell. It stunk. But it was still a solid fight, and we all picked it correctly, except for my pick in our parlay.
It happens. Yeah. I had Vinicius winning. He out sig strike him by almost 50. He looked good. He looked good. Got the win. Up and onward, I guess.
We move on to the first fight of the main card. Michael Johnson and Daniel Zellhuber go to a decision, and it is unanimous. 29-28, 29-28, and 29-28, all for Johnson. Guys, somebody who was not favored to win, I think he was the biggest dog in the card,
plus 550,
managed to come out there and just was a dog, and Zellhuber didn't know what to do. It was a lot of kind of hanging on each other, and as Caden mentioned in the early part, I think the crowd was a little upset when this fight started to roll around, just because things weren't as exciting. I mean, these two guys were dogging it out in the octagon for 15 minutes.
And we talked about it too before we started. It's like you're just getting great value with Michael Johnson. I think this is where, when we were watching it, obviously together, it was kind of like, okay, this main card's going to be weird because a plus 550 underdog just won a unanimous decision that went the distance. Like, what are we going to see here? You're going to start seeing a trend throughout the rest of the main card that we actually hopped on the underdog train for a little while. But it was just great value, so we sprinkled them a little bit. It was a pretty solid fight as well. It was just wild to see that in the opening fight of the main card. Just like, okay, here we go.
Yeah, I remember, I'm pretty sure, don't quote me, I think I said it last week, I was like, if you're going to sprinkle on a big dog, Michael Johnson would be it. A lot more experience, and it definitely showed. He landed a knockdown. He was up 2-0, 2018, and to round 2, I remember telling Cole, he literally just has to get knocked out or finish, and he is going to win this fight without a doubt in my mind, and he did. So it was good. It was a very good win for him. I'm not sure where Daniel goes after this one, but we'll see.
We move on to an interesting fight, to say the least. In my opinion, I thought Ige would show up a little bit better, but Patricio Pitbull takes the win in a unanimous decision, 29-28 all the way through. He was a dog.
Yeah, this one was also interesting because, like you said, it just seemed like Dan Ige just wasn't quite firing on all cylinders. Like he just didn't. It just seemed interesting, and obviously, of course, Caden's dog of the week as well, and Patricio Pitbull. It just seemed like Pitbull had the whole thing the entire way. I mean, lost the round, obviously, in the 29-28 scores, but it just seemed like it was Pitbull through and through.
Yeah, I remember telling, ride the Pitbull train. He disappointed last fight. Second fight in the UFC. Even though he's older, you still have those nerves. First fight in the UFC. Second one looked a lot better. Landed 5 takedowns, 55 significant strikes, dominated throughout. And yeah, I thought he looked really good. Dan Ige, he's a fan favorite. People like him. He stepped up at 303 on like an hour's notice to fight Diego Lopez. He's just not that good. And Pitbull dominated and showed that.
How much of that comes into the preparation that Pitbull, put into that fight? It looked like he was much further along as far as conditioning went throughout that fight. And I think that really was the difference in that. Not necessarily the ability of the two fighters, but rather the conditioning of the two fighters in that one. We go to the next one. Daniel Rodriguez wins over Kevin Holland in a unanimous decision, all 29-28. And Rodriguez is a dog in that one as well. Guys, we started to struggle about right here.
Yeah, no, we started to struggle as soon as the main card hit, to be honest. But then, never, better call Kev. Kev's not going to let us down, and then he just completely let us down. And it was just Daniel Rodriguez the entire way.
It's been said, it's going to be said again, you never know what you're going to get from Kevin Holland. It's like the Vikings in the playoffs. You never know what team is going to show up. Kevin Holland, he just looked bad. Like, there was no reason for it. He's a better fighter than Rodriguez is, without a doubt. He just looked bad, and he got beat. That's really all you can say at that point.
Didn't come to play. We head to the next one, where Paulo Costa wins in a unanimous decision over Roman Kopylov, 30-27, 30-27, and 29-28. I thought, in my opinion, that it should have been more of a split. However, Costa gets it, just swung the whole time, it seemed like. And I thought that, Costa, while he's a good striker, I mean, Kopylov had opportunities to take him down and just did not. Simply had the opportunities. And it kind of upset me a little bit. I'm like, dude, you got it.
Yeah, we were talking about this. One of our plays when we were watching it together was Kopylov to record a takedown.
And he had the opportunities.
It was like plus 200. Oh, I was so mad.
Yeah, he's like, every time he had a chance, we're just like, just shoot. Just take the chance. And Kopylov just wanted to stand up, and Costa's
didn't even attempt one.
Yeah, no, that's all we needed. We just needed attempted.
Paulo Costa attempted 2 takedowns, and you didn't attempt one.
Sure.
Costa, you could take him down. He just chose not to. That's why he lost. Didn't even attempt one. I mean, Costa landed double significant strikes. It was domination the whole time. I thought 30-27 was a great scorecard, to be honest.
Yeah, I thought 30-27 was going to be the sweep. But yeah, Kopylov he had so many chances, and Paulo Costa just like, okay, you want to stand up and swing?
That's what he
can
do that.
That's what I want to do. So I don't know, younger guy, maybe a little bit of inexperience.
Yeah.
It's just, he had a lot of different Kopylov could have taken that fight many different ways. And Paulo Costa just said, all right, I'm going to play my game, and I'm going to beat him. I thought it was going to be 30-27 the whole way.
Where does Kopylov go from here? And maybe does he, I mean, you don't ever want to say this, but does he look to find a different type of camp that can get him a little bit better as a fighter? I mean, Roman is, I think, a pretty talented guy. He just lacks in some areas where he could be much better. I'm trying to get his age up here. He's 34. I mean, how much more room does he have to go from here? I mean, Caden, what do you think? Does he try to move camps to try to improve on some stuff? Because I think the guy has the tools to be a top 8 fighter, at a tough middleweight.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know. This is a big step up in competition for him, and he showed he wasn't ready for it, so we will see. But I'm not sure if Costa called out Hamzat in the ring because we were at the bar, so we couldn't hear anything, but he definitely did in his post-fight. I know he called him out. That is a whole different level. I mean, Hamzat's fighting for the belt in August.
Right.
Yeah.
Paulo Costa,
You just can't, you have to have, first of all, takedown defense. He doesn't have that.
No.
You have to be able to do something on the ground other than just lay there on your back. All of the best fighters in the UFC right now are good on the ground. They're good on their back. Being good on your back is one thing, but to be proficient in being able to defend yourself while grappling is a very tough skill. I mean, most guys in the UFC right now can be great on their feet, but to be okay and to be able to defend yourself more on the ground and to defend takedowns is a huge thing as well. And I think that's where the great fighters separate themselves from the good fighters.
Yeah.
We move on to the main card, the big one. Holloway and Poirier, and it goes the distance. Who would have guessed it goes the distance? But Holloway takes it 48-47, 49-46, and 49-46. In unanimous decision, Max Holloway wins the BMF title.
I thought it was a pretty good fight. Obviously, we were going for Poirier, kind of pulling for him. That 48-47 scorecard is wild. I don't see Poirier winning any more than one round the whole deal, or the whole time. But I think that the second round was a big swing because at one point, Poirier was almost out, and then Holloway was almost out. And then after that, Holloway was just like, okay, I got to really dig in here. And 198 significant strikes from Max Holloway. That he just played his game exactly how he wanted. But it was a very entertaining main event. A great walkout, a great send-off as well after the fight. And, yeah, I thought it was a good fight. Just didn't quite go the way I wanted it. And in case anybody's keeping track at home, I picked 0 for 5 on the main card.
hey, this week. You'll get one this week.
I went 8-1 in the early prelims and the prelims.
Actually impressive.
And then went 0-5 in the main card.
Yeah. First, biggest disappointment of the night was not letting them let Lil Wayne sing a song, let him sing out. That was dumb. I thought that was dumb. Dustin, it was a disappointing fight. I honestly thought he attempted one takedown. He took Holloway down twice the last time they fought. I thought he'd attempt more than that. You could take Holloway down. But like Dustin said, I think that was yesterday, this is the first time he's felt like he was trying not to get knocked out. He was punching with risk assessment to I'm not gonna fully go into it. I don't want to get knocked out. And you saw that especially at the end, he clinched up with Max instead of just throwing. Mm-hmm. Max looked good.
You did.
I mean, this is a topic we can talk about later. Max is in a very, very good spot right now.
I agree.
Either a rematch or with Ilya for the title or a title eliminator, I would say.
One question for you guys that I wanted to hit on, and I haven't talked to you about it, so I kind of want your kind of first impression of the thought. What would this fight look like, or what would it have looked like if Poirier decided to take him down, or Holloway decided to spend a little bit more time on the ground? Because you're both aware that Dustin is pretty good on the ground. Why didn't he use that to his advantage, or did he just decide to throw this fight and end on his feet? How do you feel about that, and do you think that the fight could have been a little bit different if he would have chose to spend some more time on the ground? Where I think Poirier is good in all aspects. There's a reason that his career was as good as it was. But what does that do if he plays to maybe one of his strengths? In my opinion, is him finding some chokes and doing some different things on the ground. Which the first fight against Holloway, wasn't it an armbar he won in? He's pretty darn good on the ground. Why didn't he go to that? What do you think?
I think, for as much as it might not have looked like, I think he was trying to find his spot to get a good solid takedown attempt, because like you said, he was punching with risk assessment. He just didn't want to get put in a bad spot, because he knew that Holloway, you got to give a lot of credit to him. Like you said, he's fighting very well right now, and you just can't get yourself in a tough spot where you go for a takedown on a bad point, and then all of a sudden the fight just flips on you. So I think he was still trying to, but Holloway was also just doing a good job of like not giving him any chances to whatsoever.
Yeah, he gave the fans what they wanted. They stood up, they threw punches. It was a good fight. Max looks very good at 155, and that's another thing. When him and Ilya fought last, it was at 145, which Ilya's a smaller guy. He looks better at 145. 155, obviously Ilya looked great when he fought Charles. Max at 155, he looks very good. And I think
he looks strong. He looks strong.
I think Dustin realized that in the first round. He's like, "Oh, this is different. Which he knew it was going to be different, but he hits harder." I mean, Dustin, it was a great career. He's a legend.
Absolutely.
The greatest to never be. Greatest to never win gold, but still a legend. Still a legend.
Legend for sure.
Yep.
For those keeping track at home, the common men sitting in front of you or on your screen right now went 8-6 last week across the board, where we go to the main card and everyone struggled really bad. Of the 15 picks we made as a group, 2 were picked correctly. 2. So 2-13 on the big boy. Not great for the common men sitting in front of you.
But it was also not great for Vegas either, because 4 out of the 5 fights were underdogs and 2 of them were massive underdogs. So, I mean, it was just as soon as we saw Michael Johnson get the win in fight number 1, I think I even looked over to you just like, this is going to be weird. And that's exactly what it was. It was 4 weird fights, and then obviously the main fight, Holloway and Poirier. It was a great one.
Moving forward, announced today, UFC 321, not 320, has been announced or reportedly announced on October 25th in Abu Dhabi. Caden, who do we have? Who do we see in here?
We get a new move for the heavyweight championship. We get Tom Aspinall for Cyril Gane for the title. And I'll let you, Cole, what do you think? I have some thoughts on it, but
I just don't think that there's anybody they can put out there against Tom Aspinall, and that they're going to have a chance, obviously. But I just think Aspinall, you can put anybody, I think even including John Jones right now, which we're going to get to that in a later segment of the show, but I just think Aspinall is he's almost too good right now. Like, you can just keep throwing people at him. I think he's just going to beat them all.
I think we're at the point right now, though, that we're at a need-have point where we need to see him, and he has to go out there and fight, just because the fans want to see him, but at the same time, he is the champ now, so let's see him prove it. So I think it's a good thing, and you know what? Hey, this might not be the worst thing for Gane, so I don't know. I mean, is it going to be a fun fight? I think so. I mean, who doesn't want to watch some heavyweights go throw some punches? But we get to see the champ. We get to go see him, go out there for the first time and try to defend what he's got and prove what he has. So I'm excited to see this fight. I'm actually pretty excited about it. Happy with it as well.
yeah, there's not a lot. Yeah, like Cole said, Cyril Gane. I mean, he got submitted by John Jones, and John Jones hadn't fought in 2 years. I think it'll be a quick one. It'll be probably done in the first round. It's no one can compete with him right now, and that is not Tom Aspinall's fault. But the only person besides John Jones, because obviously John Jones is technically on the roster. Actually, I think he's in the testing pool. I don't know if he's technically on the roster.
Yeah.
The only person in the heavyweight division in general is not currently signed with the UFC that even probably could have a chance at beating him, and that's Francis Ngannou, and he is not a fan of the UFC. So if we could see that at some point, I would love to see that. But
is he in the testing pool though? I mean,
John Jones
or no?
Francis,
Ngannou.
He's in the PFL.
Oh,
yeah, he fights over there. So
sure.
maybe one day comes back, gives us something. But John Jones, it's early, but if they do fight, I would have to go with Jones. I think Tom Aspinall has not been tested. He's been to the first and second round. John Jones, I think, could get that fight to the championship rounds. And, I mean, maybe he loses, maybe he wins, but definitely would love to see Tom Aspinall out of the first 2 rounds.
But I think that a lot of people are excited to see what it looks like for him to have a target on his back. Finally, there's a target on this guy's back. We're going to get to see what he looks like with some pressure added as well. We're going to go to an interesting quote last week after the fight. Dana White said what?
He said, he was asked about Jon Jones' dream of fighting at the White House, and he said, I can't risk putting him in big positions, in a big spot, and have something go wrong, especially the White House card.
Cole,
Yeah,
what do you do
Well,
if you're Jon Jones?
I don't know. That was interesting because that was in the post-fight presser.
Yep.
We were watching that together, and we just kind of looked over each other. We were over in his apartment. He was there. I was here. I was like, did he just say that? Like, you can't put him in big spots like the White House card for something to go wrong. What is going to go wrong, and what does Dana know that we don't?
Yes.
That's the big thing I'm wondering, too. Like, why did Jon Jones just call Dana and say, hey, I'm retiring? Like, what was the rest of that phone call? Or was it just a 30-second phone call? I don't know. But that's all just how sometimes Dana White works. He just kind of says stuff and leaves no details, and then we just kind of never hear about it. So I don't know.
Yeah, this could be something we're looking too much far into. And this wasn't in the quote that I saw on Twitter, but he also elaborated he wouldn't say anyone's going to fight in the White House right now. It's too far away, which I get. He doesn't want to guarantee, but I think if Jon Jones, he's in the testing pool already. If he clears all that, I would be more worried about McGregor than Jon Jones, to be completely honest, because that guy's even more of a crapshoot. Yeah. But if Jon Jones clears and he's healthy and he can go, I see absolutely no reason why you don't put him on that card.
If McGregor were to fight there, you would have to get him. I don't know if he's in the testing pool.
He is.
So he's in the testing pool. So looking at his physical state, this guy would have to start camp now to be in the shape to fight.
Or he just fights up.
Well,
I could see he's probably 170, I would guess.
Yeah,
I
would say, yeah.
And maybe Michael Chandler finally gets that fight with him, moves up, because Chandler's at 155, maybe moves up to 170.
But that's not a main card, is it?
No.
Yeah.
That would have to be co-main. Unless, I think the main event, it has to be an American.
You have to.
There's no American. Kayla Harrison is the only American champ right now. And unless it's Amanda Nunes, which even that I don't think you put as the main event as the biggest UFC card ever. Maybe if Joshua Vance, but I don't see enough hype behind him. He would have to beat Pantoja. I would guess that fight's in December or January. I don't see that happening, that he beats him. But otherwise, there's not really a lot of American choices currently in the. Maybe Max beats Ilya in January, and then
we got the Hawaiian.
Max. Yeah, I don't know. Long ways out, hard to predict right now, but I don't see a lot of American future champs currently in the pool, so we'll see.
That's one thing Dana kept saying, too, is after the fight he kept getting asked about it. He just goes, we haven't even worked out the logistics yet to make sure we're even going to do this. It's like, that is so far away. I can't even, I have no recollection of who's going to be in it, who's not going to be in it. And he said, we're putting an octagon on a lawn that's not used to having heavy things on it. The octagon's 20,000 pounds. So he's just worried about the logistics now. He'll worry about the fighters later. He probably said that to, 5 reporters in a row.
It was a lot of
questions. He's just I have no idea, pretty much is what he said.
All right, let's take a look at this weekend. UFC Fight Night, July 26th in Yas West United Arab Emirates. It is Robert Whittaker and Reiner de Ritter in the main card in a middleweight bout. We are not going to pick every single fight, unfortunately. We were just too good last week in the early prelims that we just decided to scrap it.
Just chalk us down for wins in the prelim card.
We'll take everything. If we do have one thing or anything of note, we will hit it as we go. We're going to hit one prelim and then talk just about the main card and then the eventual main event. On ESPN, then transitioning to ABC for the main card.
Early.
Very early fights.
Early. It'll be nice. Get off work at 2, right in time for the main card.
It'll be good stuff. The featured prelim guys, Bryce Mitchell, the 15th ranked fighter at bantamweight, fighting Said Nurmagomedov from Russia, the Russian and United States folk. Gonna do battle. Who do you have here?
I think this one's going to be a entertaining fight to round it out on ESPN. Currently it sits Bryce Mitchell right now as of recording this on Tuesday. Slight favorite at minus 125. You look at their numbers, and they're pretty evenly matched up, Bryce Mitchell goes for more takedowns. I think if he can get a couple of those takedowns early, get some control, I think Bryce Mitchell's going to have his way in this fight. Maybe not have his way per se, but he's going to get some control there. I got Bryce Mitchell here in the future prelim.
I see it actually the exact opposite as you, Cole.
Right, there you go.
Bryce Mitchell moves down to bantamweight for his first fight at bantamweight. And even if Bryce brings it to the ground, Magomedov, as the last name goes, very, very good on the ground.
True.
Yeah, I like Magomedov here, but I could see either way, definitely. But I'm going to go with Magomedov here.
I agree with Caden. I think that Saeed comes in maybe a little rough around the edges, but I think we'll get it done. And I'll come back to this one a little bit later, possibly. We'll see. We move on to the main card. This is supposed to start at 2 p.m. Central Time, or 3 on the East Coast. Nikita Krylov and Bogdan Guskov, the 10-13, the Russian and the Uzbekistan, fighting at light heavyweight. Trying to get, there it is, Krylov minus 185, whereas Guskov plus 155.
I think this one's going to be a fun fight. Light heavyweight to start off on ABC. I kind of torn on these, maybe some smaller names. Me, as one of the more common man UFC guys, really don't know. Give me the favorite, minus 185. I looked for some props that I liked. I'm going to take it straight up.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Krylov here. The other dude's never even landed a takedown. And Krylov averages more significant strikes per minute, 2 takedowns a fight. I could see this one going the distance, but I like Krylov straight up.
I'm actually going Bogdan here. Going to change things up from you guys. Don't really have a super huge reason as to why, but Krylov's fought 40 total fights, which is probably one of the most on the card, if not the most. Looking at it right now, I think it is. So the guy has fought a lot, which maybe plays to an advantage for him. Seen a lot of stuff, but I'm just going to flip a coin here, take Guskov in this one.
Got to pick away. We got to have something mixed up here.
We do.
Have to, yeah.
If we go the same, it's boring. The flyweight bout, the number 9 ranked fighter at flyweight, Asu Almabayev, the Kazakhstanian, fighting Jose Ochoa, the 13th ranked fighter from Peru. And Ochoa minus 115, whereas Almabayev is minus 105. So a very thin line right now, and expect these lines to maybe even get tighter.
Yeah, I think this is. I mean, quite literally, you just flip a coin and pick one just based on the odds. Ochoa 8-1, 1 no contest. Gonna have a slight height advantage, a slight reach advantage. I think that's gonna be maybe the only big difference between these two fighters, and I'm taking the slight favorite in Jose Ochoa.
I'm going to go with Almabayev here. I think experience is going to kill in this fight. Jose's only had 2 fights in the UFC. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm going to go with Almabayev here.
I'm going with Cole here, actually. I'm taking Jose. Not a huge reason as to why. I mean, I really think that reach maybe means a little bit into this one, but at the same time, this is just a coin toss in my opinion. So I'll take Jose Ochoa at flyweight. We move down the list where one of the wildest looking men in all of UFC, Shara Magomedov, is fighting Marc-Andre Barriault, the Canadian and the Russian, fighting for an interesting spot and maybe a ranking finally in middleweight. We'll see. Lines in this one is, I have to pull it up. And I don't know. There it is. Really swayed Magomedov's way, minus 700, whereas Barriault plus 450.
Yeah, and his first ever loss in his fighting career came just his last fight. I'm going to take the crazy-looking Russian dude because, you know what? He's a very heavy favorite, and he looks insane. So I'm going to pick him.
Yeah, I like Shara the Bullet here. It was a big step up in the competition, his last fight. This is a step down. I think he gets the job done without a doubt here.
And after seeing your first UFC competition, it could be a good thing for Shara to say, hey, I know what to expect now when I step in the octagon with the bright lights, rather than to be deer in the headlights. Saturday afternoon, not even Saturday night, but Saturday afternoon. Bantamweight bout, number 3, Peter Yan, number 12, Marcus McGee. These two, I'm really excited to see this one, but Yan minus 425, whereas McGee plus 310. Guys?
I'm going to switch it up here. For some reason, I just was scrolling through these fights, and Marcus McGee just kind of spoke to me a little bit. Just his 5th UFC fight. He's 10-1 overall. Yet to lose in the UFC. I think he's going to continue that. He's a pretty decent underdog as well, but I don't know. I was just kind of scrolling through him. Just like, you know what? Marcus McGee, I choose you. That's pretty much how that happened.
Yeah, this has definitely fight of the night potential. Both guys are just going to strike. I like Petr Yan here. This could set him up for a title, honestly. He could get the next title shot after, I believe, Corey Sandhagen does. Petr Yan is very good. He's very, very experienced, very skilled. And I'm a Sugar Sean fan, but many say he got robbed in that fight. If he doesn't lose that fight, he's probably still fighting for titles, and he's been having to build up from that. I'm going to go with Petr Yan here. Big, big opportunity for him Saturday.
I'm with Cole. I think there's going to be an upset. I mean, I really think that the Vegas struggled last week in a little bit. I'm going to take McGee. Maybe change my pick last second. We'll see. I'm still up in the air on this one, but I'm taking McGee with a huge upset.
Oh, it's too late. You're already in the Google Sheet.
All right,
You're locked
sounds
in.
good.
There's no changing now.
No, we're in the main card now, fellas. The main event, Robert Whittaker, Reiner de Ritter. The middleweight bout. Who do you got here? The main event of the night, or of the afternoon.
I think this one's going to be a fun fight to watch. Unfortunately, I probably won't be watching any of these fights, actually. I have a wedding to go to on Saturday, which is unfortunate because I'm really looking forward to this one.
Gonna have to pull it up on your phone.
I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to watch it somehow. Or
5 o'clock. It might be mid ceremony, but
yeah, you never know. Who knows?
You'll have some dead time.
RDR at plus 130 is just crazy to my mind. Maybe I'm just not looking at things right, I guess. But I'm taking RDR.
Yeah, be a good one. Robert Whittaker, definitely fan favorite. Former champion back in 2017, but he's went to battle with Izzy twice. Both very good fights. He has the experience. RDR, big step up in competition for him this weekend. But Reiner de Ritter gets it done and sets himself up in a great place in the middleweight division.
I'm taking Whittaker. I'm riding the train, fellas. We're split this week, but that's okay. I'm taking Robert Whittaker. I'm really not sure how this fight's going to look. We'll see, though. But I take Robert Whittaker in the main event of the evening on Saturday. It
actually will be the evening.
It will be.
Not 12:30 a.m. Eastern.
Of the morning, no. Fellas, do we have locks or picks of the week here?
I got a lock and a dog.
Let's go.
I do also.
I just don't have a community play, but we'll probably post it on
We'll
TikTok
get a community
later
play
on.
up on our TikTok later this week. Go check out our TikTok, by the way, Common Man MMA. Lock of the week, Caden. Let's start with you. Looking back at last week, your lock of the week came with a win. You took Ateba Gadier over Robert Valentin. What do you say this week, Caden?
You know what? Looking for 2-0 here. I've had this on my mind for weeks. The Bullet gets it done. Shara Magomedov, I don't see a way he loses. Like I said, step down in competition. They might not let him back in the country if he loses, so he's going to get it done this week.
Interesting. I'm going back a couple fights. ESPN has it listed the first fight. I can't remember if that's actually correct or not. Yes, Nikita Krylov, 10th ranked light heavyweight out of Russia. I'm taking him as my lock of the week, fight number 1 on the main card.
I'm really going against the grain here, against our picks. My lock of the week is just Robert Whittaker, minus 155.
Main events are scary, man.
I know. Especially after last week. I mean, I'm 1-0 on main events right now. I might as well see if I can ride the wave. Let's go to our dog of the week. Last pick of the week. Caden? Who is your dog of the week?
Would you like to shout out that I got last week, right, too, at plus
Oh,
180?
yeah, I can check
Can we
that.
hear that, please?
Yeah, your dog of the week was one of two correct picks in the main card. You took Patricio Pitbull. Caden is the only common man sitting on your screen right now who went 2-0 in their picks, or I guess, did you go 3-0 or 2-0? Yeah, we didn't have the group play on there, so
I did go 3-0. I would like to put that
You
out
did?
there.
He
Max
did,
6
yeah.
strikes.
He did, yeah.
All right. I know I just told you picking on the main event, risky, but I'm going to do the exact opposite of what I just said. Reiner de Ritter, dog of the week, gets it done. Looking at the camera, he will be champion. That's all I got. He's going to get it done this week.
wow.
Big fan. Massive fan of RDR. Going to be champ.
We're gonna be split when we're watching this at your place.
I
then.
know.
It's all right. I'll be watching for the vibes. Anyway.
For the vibes.
I'm taking as my dog of the week Marcus McGee in that second to last fight, plus 300. And again, I don't know why. It was just kind of speaking to me. So give me the value. Give me plus 300. He might get knocked on the first round. I don't know. I'm still taking him as my dog of the week.
And here's how you know we don't talk about our picks of the week, is because I have the exact same thing.
That's all right.
So our dogs of the week are Marcus McGee as plus 310 is what I got at that. A little better value there, Cole. Come on now.
Yeah, my bad.
All right, guys. I
should've
got
went
a
line
proposition.
shopping.
Am I allowed 2 locks of the week this
Sure.
week?
Might as well.
You're allowed as many as you want.
You
I
guys
guess.
are going to learn about Powder Yan this week. Give me my second lock of the week. Powder Yan, lock, back-to-back fights. Going to go get it to 3-0 with my locks. I'm not even worried about it.
Buddy's just begging to get clipped. Anyways, that is our episode this week. We're going to have a group parlay pushed out a little bit later. We'll have Cole's pick for that as well. Look for that on TikTok. But that is Common Man MMA episode 2 in the books. Good episode this week as we turn around and look at a fight night or fight evening or afternoon or however you want to say.
Fight morning.
Fight morning. It starts really early in the morning, according to the UFC website at exactly 11 a.m. Central Daylight Time.
Bring it on.
We're going to have a fight starting off with Martin Boudet and Marcus Buchecha, I would say, is the pronunciation there. So heavyweight bout to start things off, the Slovakian, the Brazilian. A ranked fighter, I mean, hey, that early, or that prelim, not terrible. So, hey, flip it on ESPN. There it is for you. And then flip it over to ABC at 2 Central. So that's it for us. Fellas, thoughts? One more thought heading into fight night this week.
I'm excited. You know, it's always going to be a weekend. Like I said, might not watch a single one, but I'm going to talk like I watched every single one, no matter what happens. It's always good to just sit here and talk shop, you know. And just like that, 52 minutes passed, and we didn't even think about it. So I think it's going to be fun.
2 words, not 2 Charles Barkley words. Powder Yan. That's all I'm going to say.
We'll get this guy off the screen for you guys. All right, that's the episode. Thanks for watching. Come back either next week or the week after. I don't remember if what we have coming up is necessarily pressing, but when word comes out of the next UFC headliner, we'll have that out for you guys as well. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.